Hi all, welcome to the late night whistle. Hope everyone's well. Big up everyone in the chat, by the way. I've seen you. Hello. Sorry I'm late by a couple of minutes. I was just trying to sort out different articles, what we can discuss in tonight's show. Guys, as always, get involved. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and you haven't subscribed already. Please get down and do so. It'll help me out massively if you can do that. Let me sip a sip of my drink. The floor is open tonight to anyone who wants to jump on. Come and give me views. Come and chat with me. Unless you was in there. So, Caleb, how are we, mate? Hope you're well. Foxy, could Kone be the answer? Well, could it be Ndidi out, Kone in at Leicester City with a question mark, by the way? Big up, Jack. Big up, Chris. Is there a sell-on clause with KDH to Everton? I don't know. I've actually been researching that today. Are Leicester smart enough to do that, do you reckon? I don't know. Sata, how are we, mate? Dave, how are we? Great performance yesterday. Yeah, fantastic. Hi, Jack. Hello, Dawn. Hi, mate. Got win yesterday. Roll on the new season. Blue Army. Do you know what? Fantastic win yesterday. We will indulge in the win if you want to discuss it, then we can. We can talk about Abdul Fatawu. We can talk about Caleb Akoli, Uncle Ayu, Jordan Ayu. Do you think we will be able to move more players on? Is this the rebuild we have been long awaiting for a while? You guys let me know. Heard Wednesday fans are turning up late to the game. Yeah, I believe they're going to be protesting outside and getting into the game 5 minutes late. That's what they're going to be doing, by the way. So they will be at the ground, just not inside the ground for kickoff. Ronnie, how are we, mate? Hope you're good. I'm actually looking forward to the season. Do you know what? It's just mad how our mentality's changed as fans regarding the season. Marty's come in, and I think he's doing a good job, by the way, in building this relationship with the fans and building it with the players as well. Not everyone's left apart from Connor Cody, which is the first out the door, and hopefully many more. Does Kone go straight in? I'd say so. I would honestly say so. Jordan Ayu will be a squad player for this season. We're going to be playing 46 games, for God's sake, including the cup game. So we're going to have to rotate, aren't we? King Kone, yeah. Evening, Frankie. How are we? Serious answer. What would be seen as a failure this season? Oh, I don't know. Do you know what? Get that in the comments, guys. What would you see as a failure this season? I'd honestly say Patson Daka not scoring one goal. That's seen as a failure. No, I'm joking. What would be seen as a failure is... I don't know. I'm not sure. Apparently West Ham pulled the plug on Mads. Well, we're going to discuss Mads Hermansen, actually, because that's an interesting one as well, because he played yesterday, didn't he? And if he was leaving, he wouldn't have played or even started the game, would he? Like Ndidi, we're going to be discussing as well. So it's going to be interesting, to say the least. But I'm going to send the link out for anyone who wants to join. If anyone wants to jump on, feel free. That's the wrong bloody button. But yeah, not making the top 6. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Any chance Bilal staying? Do you know what? If we can keep Bilal, yeah. Fatawu right wing, Mavididi left wing, Kone up front, or even Ayu, by the way, at this point, we would have a right front four. I'll be honest, like, it's a chef's kiss, isn't it? Like, if we can keep Bilal somehow in this transfer window, it would be phenomenal. To be honest, like Leicester City put a TikTok out, didn't they, of Bilal and Fatawu yesterday about best friends and that, If we can keep them two and them two as a duo, they would tear up the championship. I'm not even joking. They would absolutely, the championship would be in tatters. Like the pace that we've got, Fatawu looks like he's come back even stronger. He looks a completely different player. It looks like he's never been away for Fatawu. The pace, he's bulked up, and he massively. Come on, Jack, mate. If we keep Bilal, we're all calling them the Fantastic Four. Well, if you watch the actual Fantastic Four film, they do have a Fantastic Five, by the way. I think it's the baby in it, which obviously does get older. And is it Doctor Doom? Is it who comes in at the end? I don't know. I don't know if Chris is into all this Marvel stuff and that. And yeah, I'm going to get my mate Chris in. Chris, how are we, my good mate?
We are very well after yesterday. Great performance. Don't think many of us would have gone for the victory beforehand. Toughest game. I mean, look, the previous game against Cologne was the toughest game, and we didn't turn up. And we did turn up against Fiorentina. I know they had sort of two sides, first and second half. But, yeah, clean sheet, a win, wonder. I mean, guys, look, just forget goal of the season. Just give it to Fatawu now and let's just get it over with. I mean, what a bloody goal. And, even Ayew, he wouldn't have scored that last season because he wouldn't have been that high up the field under Rude.
Yeah, I'm going to chat with you about specific players, actually. I think it'd be good to get this underway. With no points deduction, I fancy is big time. Do you know what I fancy is to break the championship record next season if we don't get points deduction with this squad? I'll be honest. But let's not get into any of that because I don't want people to clip things and then I end up being wrong and I end up.
Can you imagine, Jack? After everything and all the records we got last year, longest spell without scoring a goal at home, longest losing run. Can you imagine if we were to get a points deduction and still get the most points ever in the championship?
It'd be a crazy thing to do. I don't think any side's ever done it. I think Birmingham got 111 points, didn't they, in League One? Reading's got 106 in the championship.
That's still the record, I think, in the championship, isn't it? But not with a points deduction, though.
Do you know what, though, Chris? To think, if we beat Plymouth and Millwall and didn't go on that dodgy run in February, March time, we've actually broke the record. People were banking on us in December thinking, Leicester's running away with this. 17 points clear. Surely, if it happens this time, we've got to get it over the line, I'll be honest. But we'll see.
We'll see.
We need to make it difficult for Bilal to leave. 60% sell-on clause, right? Do you know what, Armchair? We should actually offer him a new contract and take that so-called release clause out the contract. Like Morgan Gibbs-White with Marinakis. I'm not saying Leicester City are going to do a Morgan Gibbs-White style video, like where Rookin stands next to bloody El Kanous and says, "Oh, thank you, Job Rookin." Forces his hand on it. But Fatawu was very physical yesterday. He wanted to win the ball at every chance. Chris, talk to me about the game yesterday. We'll talk about Mads Hermansen, a man who's been very speculated in leaving Leicester City. West Ham was apparently the front runners for him. Victor Johansson is going to be leaving Stoke City, apparently. West Ham have considered a move now for Botafogo's goalkeeper, John Victor. They're apparently now in advanced talks recording to Fabrizio Romano. So does that now sort of look at it and think, could Mads Hermansen actually stay at Leicester City?
I think we would hope so. When you look at our goalkeeping situation, in the past we've had a five-a-side team with just goalkeepers, haven't we? But, we've got Stolarczyk and Hermansen, and I think the fan base would probably be split as to who they'd have as their number one. And then you've got a third in Asmir Berkovic, who, look, he's a Mark Schwarzer, a Jakovic sort of figure, isn't he? I think he'll be here for the season. He'll help young Bowser and probably the other two as well. And who knows, he could become the goalkeeping coach because we haven't got one. I was surprised to see Hermansen play. A lot of people are saying, well, he was in the shop window, but if you play him to put him in the shop window and he got injured, if he came out for a save and he got kicked in his knee or whatever, or he went down with an old injury coming back, then you're not going to sell him, are you? So to me, I reckon he's staying. I've got a feeling now he's staying.
I was sort of looking at it yesterday and I thought, if he was so close to leaving, it wouldn't be nowhere near that team, because West Ham would have said, yeah, we don't want him to play. And then Martin would have said, okay, then his head's not right. He's injured. It's this, it's that. You know what managers are like when these situations come about? You look at Amari Hutchinson at Ipswich, where his head's not in it. He does fancy a move to Brentford. But then this is what I look at with Mads. He was happy enough to play yesterday. He played. Was it the whole game he played?
Mm.
So, he's come back from his injury. He's looking sharp again. It's going to take him time to get back into it and all that. But I think he'd have been in like the Ndidi situation yesterday, where he wouldn't have played at all if West Ham were really close to getting him. Because I know there's been speculation about agreed personal terms here. West Ham are in talks with Leicester, formally approached, but West Ham look to have moved and sailed on with another goalkeeper. They're probably put off by the price, Chris, which for Mads, we were looking at about, 35 million last summer, but then they're probably looking in the region of 25, 30 this summer to sort of sell him to West Ham. And West Ham have thought, we don't want to spend that amount of money. We want to give you as low as offer because you're desperate to sell your players. And Leicester have stand firm. We don't have to sell our best goalkeeper, I'll be honest. But what's she sort of thinking regarding Abdul Fatawu? Come back yesterday, scored that.
Just to maybe come back on Hermansen first, and I agree with you.
Yeah.
To be honest, I do agree with you there. We do know he is our most sellable asset. And we don't know what's involved with PSR. Everybody apparently has been on a clause in the contract that if we got relegated, the wages come down. We've lost $100,000 a week that we're paying Jamie Vardy. So we may not be in the worst position, or as people say. But yeah, I mean, look, Cody, 2 million, you take it for him. I'd have taken 50p for him, to be honest with you, just to get him off the wages. But, whether it's El Canus or whether it's Mads Hermansen, we're not going to sell them cheap. I know that Bilal's allegedly got this get out clause, so we might be stuck with that. But yeah, let's hang on. He's still got another 2 or 3 years left on his contract, Hermansen. Why sell him on the cheap?
Yeah, that's it. Leicester have got to hold firm. They are sellable assets, aren't they? Bilal and Mads.
Yeah.
But before we go on to Fatawu, we'll talk about another outgoing, supposedly in a lot of speculation regarding Bilal El Kanous. A key player yesterday in that Fiorentina game, he was class one. Him and Fatawu linked up. They tore Fiorentina apart, let's be honest. What's your thoughts on Bilal? Do you think we definitely could keep him, Chris? What's your sort of thinking about it?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'll tell you why, because a West Ham fan that I know, I was talking to him and they were linked heavily with him. Yeah. And I said, thing is, he's probably not quite Premier League ready. He'd have probably needed another season in the Premier League. And he said, yes, but look, why wouldn't we buy him at 25 million, whatever his contract is, and we develop him into that player? Why would we, thanks Scott, why would we, let you develop him and then come in and have to pay you 60 million for him?
That's it.
And it's a very good point, and something that until he said it, I hadn't thought of. But yeah, all these clubs aren't willing to take a gamble. And that's why, we've done so well in selling players. We have taken the gamble. Not always paid off, obviously, but it was a very good point. I'm thinking they could do that. But, I'm just a bit worried that as it gets nearer the end of the season, that these players clubs might think, now they need to sell. I don't know. what this bloody PSR? Can we not just pay it and get it over with, and then we know where we stand? And I love your top, but just pay it and get it out the bloody way. Take whatever they're going to fine us, take the points deduction, and let's move on.
I was hoping to do that last season. If all this were coming about the points deduction and that, they should have just said, you know what, we'll take it and we'll get a clean slate in the Championship next season. You have nothing to worry about. You won't have to worry about selling your players for PSR and all that, which we haven't, have we? The only player we have sold is Conor Kone, and hopefully more to come. But, Chris, El Kane is going to be a key player for Leicester next season if they do keep him. You look at the front four. At the minute, you've got Ayew, El Kane, Fatawu, Mavadidi. It's a chef's kiss for Leicester City yesterday. People were bigging it up on social media how good that was and how good that would actually be in the Championship. It's the lethal weapon Leicester can bring to the table at this point. And then you had someone like a Richard Kone up front, which is another good striker who can score goals. And you play the ball into him quite well. He's done that at Wycombe. Another lethal weapon again that Leicester could use to their advantage for just £5 million. So Leicester have just got to be smart, haven't they? Leeds have inquired about Bilal. They have, I think it was Sacha Taglieri come out of it, didn't he, about this release clause. Rob Dorset, he said Leicester City want 25 million plus. Tom Colomossi said the same. It's what you believe at this point.
A second, mate. Sorry, my sound's gone off.
I can hear you, my end.
Yeah, I can't. It is my end that the problem is with. Oops, but it's all going tits up. Carry on, mate. Carry on.
Yeah, I definitely think if this whole you don't know what you believe with Bilal. It's the case of, is he happy at Leicester? Is he not? You're never going to know these things. The media like to speculate to create a story, don't they, Chris, to suit their own agenda? And this is what Leicester have been. This is where all the speculations come from. They've had nothing we got from Leicester City. Leicester have been that private regarding everything, manager, players. All of a sudden, Conor Kone came out the blocks with Wrexham, and then he ended up being sold quite quickly. So you don't know what Leicester City's plans are behind the scenes, to be honest.
I mean, and this is why I say, with all these players that are being linked, has the rainbow suddenly appeared over the King Power with the pot of gold at the end? Because we haven't got any money. They've come out and said to Cifuentes, you've got to sell before you can buy. Right, mate? Yeah. But here we are being linked with every bloody player and his dog, which would be the best regard. So, why? How are we going to afford to buy all these players? I know I retweet them and post them on Facebook, but deep down inside I'm thinking, is that really going to happen?
If Leeds are serious offers for Nonto, they'll come knocking, because Leeds want a centre attacking midfielder, don't they, this summer? Yeah. It's how much they're willing to pay. They've obviously spent a lot of money, so have Sunderland, to stay up in the Premier League. Bilal, he did look happy yesterday on the pitch. Do you know what, Chris? You look at Leicester's squad, you've got a lot of young players in Bilal's age gap, haven't you? You've got your Fatawus, you've got your Mongers. You've got a few others in there who are still young and still developing. Martin Cifuentes is good at that, isn't he? I don't think he's really a manager that likes to really spend on players over the age of 25. He likes 25 and younger, don't he, to help develop his squad. And this is what he's been very good at other clubs, as well as QPR, of how good he's actually brought these players through and how influential he has been. Obviously, you look at the Ajax Academy again that he's obviously been at. So it's a good learning curve to have. But then Leicester's squad, it's got a lot of quality to it.
Yes, I mean, I've heard and I've read about this, 25 and under thing, but he's got enough players that are 25 and under. Do we need to go and buy a midfielder that's 25 and under? No, because we've got Monger, we've got Alves, we've got Baybrook, we've got decent players that are under 25. So if, for example, Josh Brownhill, a 4-year contract, which I've heard, no, let's avoid that like a plague. He's 30 in December. But 2 or 3 seasons, yeah, why not? I mean, I've got a friend who's a Burnley fan, and he speaks highly of him. But yes, I know what he's saying. What people are saying about the youngsters. But we do want to get away from the Rivalry and AU sort of signings. But we've got enough youngsters. We need some experience in there. Because the experienced players that we've got are shit. Most of them.
Chris Sutter says, imagine having Fatawa and Mavadini running at you for 65 minutes, then you have Monga getting subbed on, a nightmare for defenders.
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, I said last season, I think AU is going to be good because I think him as our main striker, and obviously we still think we should buy another one, but the ball goes up to him. He can hold that ball up, but, you've got El Kanous, you've got, Mavadini, Fatawu, McAteer, Monga, he's holding the ball up and he's got those coming at you and to pass the ball off to him. It's a dream. You know what I mean? It's like, well, it's probably not as good as sex, but it's not far off. You know what I mean, yeah, it's any manager. I mean, I it's sometimes interesting to watch sort of the fans on other shows and what they say. And I was watching a prediction show on another channel, a non-Leicester channel, and they were saying Leicester City have got the best squad in the Championship, even with the duffers that we've got in there. And there's a few, isn't there? We know there's a few duffers in there, but even with them, we've got the best squad in the Championship. And I'm thinking, you know what? Yeah, we probably have.
I think we have. People say Ipswich have got the best squad and Ipswich are going to win the Championship. And I'm just like, everyone's downgrading Leicester and looking over Leicester. And we're just like, you know what? Just say what you want, do whatever you think. And then we're just going to be doing whatever behind the scenes and taking whatever you want one of the decisions.
I don't think Ipswich will win the league. I have to say that. But, I mean, it's all because we don't know what points deduction we're going to get,
This is the problem. Where's that other comment? Chris, I want to touch on Will Alves. Didn't play yesterday. Obviously, Jake Evans wasn't in the squad either. Talking about Will Alves, Bilal's still at the club, isn't he? It doesn't look like he's leaving anytime soon at this minute in time as we speak. Yeah. Something might come in during the show, I don't know, but it'd be nice if it just he's staying at Leicester, he signs a new contract, but we're not going to talk about that. But do you think Alves will be a part of Cifuentes' squad, or do you think it could be potentially a loan again this season?
I hope if we don't use him now, are we going to lose him? How old is he now? He's in his 20s, isn't he? I think. I don't think he has to be included because of his age in the actual squad. I think he's still... Is he under 21? I don't know how old he is now.
Who's that? Will Alves?
Will Alves. But look, there's 46 games.
20 years old.
Sorry?
20.
So we can include him without having to include him, if that makes sense, because we don't have, he can still qualify as an under 21 player.
Yeah.
But we've got 46 games to play.
Yeah.
Plus maybe 3 or 4 or 5, I don't know, games in the cups. That's a lot of games for the youngsters to play. And like Ant says there, if they don't get to break through this season, when are they going to break through?
This is what I sort of look at with Marty. He wants the players who can play to that way of his thinking, his philosophy. You looked at what Xavi Kone said in his interview about the way he wants to attack, press the game. They want to beat the opponent. They want fans to go home and think, you know what? We actually did well in today's game. There are a lot of improvements. This squad has got something about it. So you can see what they're planning together. It feels like the players are really starting to get on board with Marty's way of thinking. You look at the transition, Chris, in yesterday's game, back to front, and then you're looking at the pressing from the front. And your best part of your defence is your attack. going, and the way we've got the players thinking is just crazy. Like, it shows how important it's been for him in a short space of time. But this squad, Chris, it looks fucking fit. I'll be honest, it looks really sharp. They're still playing at 70 minutes and they're still bloody running at fast speed. And
and I'd forgotten this, lad. Did you know there was 2 halves to a pitch?
There is, yeah, and we did that
yesterday. Van Nistelrooy, we only ever played in one half. Ayew would not have scored that goal last season because he wouldn't have been what's the word I'm looking for? He wouldn't have been up there. You know what I mean? And how often did in Christensen, when he actually got to the corner flag, he couldn't put it into the box because no bugger was there. And over this, I've seen more attacking play in these 6 pre-season games than I saw in the 40-yard under with Van Nistelrooy, whatever it was. So, it's actually fun to watch. And look, we all have our favourite players. We all have players we hate. But I saw Skip coming off at half-time, and he was actually smiling. When did you last see a Leicester City player in a competitive game smile? Certainly not last season. And I'm thinking, suddenly beginning to think. And I thought, when we lost to Cologne, and I thought, hang on a second, maybe we've got a little bit excited here. We've not played, any particularly big teams. Then we played Cologne and we were struggling. We lost, obviously. And then we came up against Fiorentina, who are, they finished 6th last season. I am excited about next season.
They look competitive. Let's touch on Oliver Skipp. He has come under a lot of scrutiny, hasn't he, with the fan base, Chris? £25 million is what we paid for him. That's including bonuses or whatever you want to throw at it. Yesterday, he had a good game. Samore took time to get into the game yesterday, but he started to flow a lot more, making them runs at the Fiorentina defence and that. And you're thinking, Samore, for me, is frustrating as hell. You get a little glimpses and you think, this guy can do something. Then other games you think, where's he gone? Like, what is he up to? I don't know, but Skip yesterday was impressive in the midfield. Maybe this Martin Cifuentes thinking of him, maybe that suits him better because some fans think that when you talk to Norwich fans, they said he's a very good Championship midfielder.
I think Skip will be what Winks was a couple of seasons ago. Skips will be this coming season. I think we've got a bit of a position because I wanted to see how Skips and Winks played together. They're ex-teammates, and I wanted to see how they played together. And we saw that against Cologne, and they were picked poor. I think we've got a bit of a Lampard-Gerrard situation here. I think we've got Skip and we've got Winks, 2 very good midfielders at this level.
In the Championship,
but they can't necessarily play together.
Yeah, that's what it is. So how do you find a way around that? Because Harry Winks,
let's say Ndidi's going, and then you've got let's sell Samare because I wasn't impressed with him. Maybe Forrest will take him. I don't know. We could live in hope. And if only we knew somebody at Forest we could ask about that. But so Ndidi's going, get rid of Samare, and then put one of them with maybe an Alves or somebody like that.
Obviously, you're next to take on Fiorentina, I believe, at the City Ground. Can't hear you, mate. Are you on mute?
Yeah.
Right. Right. Hopefully, you lot were analysing that game yesterday against Fiorentina. We did see the Jekos, the Moises Keanes. I don't think David De Gea come on yesterday, did he, Chris?
No, I don't think he did.
I think Robin Gosens came on, didn't he, for a bit, who Leicester was obviously interested in before.
Jekko came on.
Have you
did Jekko come on? Did Jekko come on?
Jekko did come on.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to the game tomorrow. I'm not doing. I'm not. I saw your vlog, Jack, as well. So yeah, I'm not doing any vlogs for the friendly games. To be fair, so yeah. How's everyone anyway? How are you? I've not seen Chris for a while. How are you, Chris?
I'm all right, mate. How are you doing?
I feel great. Have you missed me?
Yeah, but then again, you miss piles when you have them, and they're a pain in the arse. But no, in fairness, congratulations on your season last season, mate. You know, I had you as bottom simply because of, yeah, I did. Simply because, well, there's obviously the rivalry, but I didn't rate your manager. But look, you blew everybody apart, and well done to you.
You did. Oh, Chris, it wasn't even Cooper's fault, man. Come on, I've had this chat with Jack and Ant about Steve Cooper, man.
Well, I wanted Steve Cooper. I'm not, and hindsight's a wonderful thing. Maybe we'd have stayed up with him, but I actually thought when we took him on, I wanted him because I thought he would do for us what he did for you, which was just keep us up, and that's all we wanted last season.
I think he would have got relegated anyway with him, if I'm honest. Because I spoke to Jack about it, and with the move and Israel appointment, I thought it was absolutely ridiculous because he had no experience with an English team. You wouldn't be a Dutch league. You're not getting no players in. It's just a bad choice all around and that. So,
Might have did it for Tarwu. Do you know what? That's what I criticised Steve Cooper for. When he was here. The way he treated Fatawu and Mabadidi and Ricardo in that. He took the best players out of the team. To put Dico Dovereed on the wing and fucking Jordan Ayew out.
But where was you, Jack? Where was you when he sacked him?
It doesn't matter where you are. You still need to get your best players in there.
Answer the question. Where was you when
we were 16th because Crystal Palace were crap and so were Wolves. And if they weren't crap, we still would have been in the relegation zone with him.
And at the end of the day, you sacked him when you wasn't in bottom three.
Cooper would have made it slightly less embarrassing, but it would have still been the same.
No, 100%. No, it's not embarrassing. I think, like I said, you sacked him.
I went to St Andrews and Birmingham City battered Forest. We'll be up there, I'm sure. Loving Luke Thomas, to be fair. I've said also Rabdal and Mads with Monga. So many chances, Ravi. Door. What was it? Score at the weekend? 1-0.
It's a listen. Do you lot take pre-season games seriously?
No, honestly, don't. It's a fitness thing.
Like
it's nice, of course it is, but it's about getting minutes in the legs and getting a shot. For
don't say that where people don't like when they see minutes in the legs and all that. But listen, it's pre-season. Like, are you lot ready for the championship now?
We are ready, mate. Don't you worry about that. We're ready to take it by storm.
I seen the Leicester goal. What's his name? Is it the right winger?
Fatawu?
Yeah, good goal, wasn't it?
I tell you what, mate, the way he put that over the Fiorentina players, mate, and got them running, mate, and to finish that.
You can Forrest nick him.
To come back with an ACL injury, though.
We'll nick him. Forrest will nick him.
Yeah, I'm all right.
You know what? I think Forrest should raid Leicester. Like you took Wes Morgan off us.
I tell you what, you can have Samara and Ndidi. I mean, you can't have Christensen because he's had a collision at the training ground, apparently. Probably slipped on the wet floor sign and headbutted Samara or something. I don't know.
We're ready to go, really. He'll look good in red.
Yeah, Dico Dovereed will look good. You know, you can have Vestergaard, you can have Fass in your defence. You have Milinkovic and Murillo, mate. Looked like Fass and Vestergaard, didn't they, at the weekend against Birmingham? Birmingham were getting them the runaround.
It's only a friendly, man. You don't take it so.
It's all about fitness, isn't it? Oh, look at that. Anne's agreed with me. It's all about. It's not. You still want to win it. You still want to win it.
No, of course, you still want to. Of course, you still want to win it. But it's just friendly games, isn't it?
Some Birmingham fan earlier.
We wouldn't be saying this if they'd won. Did you win? I don't know the result. I take it you lost.
1-0.
Did you have a good birthday?
I had a great birthday. I was in London.
Fantastic.
You know what? I did see a Leicester fan, and
you did.
I was giving.
He pushed you in the Thames.
I wanted to push him in the Thames more than anything else. I see that Forrest will get relegated. I was like, you what? Not like you lot. Every time you lot come to the Premier League, you get relegated with us. So, listen. I'm looking forward to the Premier League season now. Who's your first game?
Sheffield Wednesday on Sunday.
Listen to me. If you don't beat Sheffield Wednesday, you lot deserve to get relegated to League One. But I feel sorry for Leicester. I feel sorry for Sheffield Wednesday though.
Yeah, do you know what? Same with Morecambe. Morecambe's they gone out of business today due to a stupid owner.
I know.
Oh, for God's sake!
It's disgusting, isn't it? It is.
I think it was Derby had a situation, and we have a little joke around.
Weren't Bolton in the same boat at that point? Well, and Bury as well.
I'll never want. You know what? I'll never want a club go liquidation at all.
No.
At all. Like I said, you have a little joke when Derby were close to win. I said, I want them to suffer, but I don't want them to liquidate.
100%. I would obviously 100% agree with you, Dor. I mean, Derby, Coventry. I mean, they've been through the bad times, as have we. Like you say, I would love to see them relegated.
We had to sell Wes Morgan to you lot.
£1 million. Great £1 million signing that.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. Well, we could give you some RA in return and Vout Faze.
What? Huh? What? What did you say?
Wes achieved more with us than he did with you lot.
No, well, yeah, he did. Yeah, of course he did. He won the Premier League with you lot.
He did.
He still prefers Forest though.
Yeah, but he's a Forest lad in here,
He's a Meadows lad.
He's a Forest fan in here. You can't take that out of him.
You can't take that out of him. But listen to me. I hope Leicester suffer in the Championship.
I hope you lot do the same next season.
No, we're in Europe. I told you we're in Europe.
Well,
we're going to win.
You'll be out of that quick enough.
Listen, we're in. I don't know what competition that we are going to be in, Conference or Europa.
Well, it's a fighting it out now. They put in another.
Yeah, but this how stupid Crystal Palace are because they've done an appeal letter.
You lot give it to him. I'm telling you.
Come on, give it. Come on,
you lot give it to him. He deserves it.
Make sure you do. Make sure you hit the subscribe button as well for me. Make sure. Why is everyone? What's the like button on Jack? What's the like button?
I don't know.
This is shocking people. Jack doesn't know what's on live. People hit the like button if you can. Hit the like button.
Not even set the like target yet.
People hit the like button. Chris
I'll tell you what.
Can I say something? Chris, when Forest got relegated. No, before Forest got promoted and you got relegated. Remember that message you sent, Chris? I'm so happy I got relegated, but I'm not going to miss door. Remember what you put?
Probably because we didn't get on at that point. You pissed me off for some reason.
No, Chris. I just wound you up, Chris, and everyone, all the Voice fans jumped on it. Why? What's door done now? I don't know. Just Chris just got a bit sensitive, and you like to have a little back and forth with people, and just don't go over the top.
I love a bit of banter. And I don't even remember what it was about. But
I've got no hate for Leicester, but now I do hate Leicester because I told Jack when again, I don't want to repeat this, when we drawn 2-2. The Leicester lot give me
cost you Champions League.
What?
Did we cost you? Didn't you lot say you beat us 4-0, 5-0, 6-0, 7-0? Someone even said 12-0.
No, we beat you 3-1. We beat you 3-1.
No, I'm on about the one at the City ground.
I'm on about one at your ground. We beat you 3-1.
Thinking Champions League football's coming. I was thinking, we're costing you today, mate.
Right, can I ask a question to you? But any of you, right? I seen like as Dorsey know the map. What do you think of Marinakis? Would you take him?
What, Marinakis, your owner?
Yeah.
I think it's a dodgy situation how the Morgan gives wife.
Would you take him, yes or no?
No.
Why?
Because the guy looks dodgy, mate.
What's he done wrong?
If he's bloody making them sort of videos at Forest, mate.
What's he done wrong? What's he done wrong?
He doesn't handle himself well, let's be honest.
What's he done wrong?
I mean, look, let's be honest. Let's be fair here. We only see one side of the story.
Yeah.
So we only see what the news put out when, he comes on. I think the fact that, he, with this competition with him owning two clubs and all that shit, I think, I don't agree with it. I think, that should have been allowed.
Right.
He's passionate. But we don't know what he does. He's
a passionate owner. And
right. Let me say something. Right, you had a fantastic owner, didn't you? What was his name before he passed away?
Richard.
Yeah, fantastic owner. and all that, and said what happened to him, and now all the crap that was happening when he's in the Premier League and all that. With our owner, he's just passionate. He's Greek, and he does what he does in Greece, what he does in the Premier League, and people don't like it. He's right off debts at Forest. He wants the best for Nottingham Forest and all that. So, and people don't see the positive side of him. As everyone, negative sells. And your owner, when we looked at your owner, we thought, wow, I wish I'd let the owner because of all the things that he'd done for your club. And he won the Premier League when he was there. With our owner, he wants the same. He wants Forest to do well. I just don't see I don't see there's always raise my eyebrow one or two things of what he does.
Okay.
But he's fantastic for us.
The thing is, though, Dor, you're asking us, would we take him, which means that we would have to get rid of our owners.
But are you a fan of your owners, though? Are you a fan of your owners now?
Yeah, because
they've made mistakes, of course they have. Yeah.
But every owner does it. Every owner does it. Like,
exactly. Without them, we wouldn't have that coach there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, like I say, we only see one side of the story, and he's after buying another team, isn't he?
Yeah. Is it the one with West Ham's buying that goalkeeper from?
Oh, but Fergo.
Is buying that.
Yeah. I mean,
that's with Textor guy. Yeah. So,
fair play to him. Fair play to
he's just ambitious, and the Premier League and the rival fans just don't like it because he's not the same other owners as the other 19 owners in the Premier League and that. And because Monakas, he's just different to what the culture that he does. And like I said, he just people. I like it.
How many fans hate the owners of Manchester City? But how many other fans would have those owners at their club?
So, like, look at Man U. How many people hate the Glaziers? How many people hate Ineos? How many people like
Man United fans hate their own owner? So.
Exactly, they hate owners, and because like Mount case is different to other. Like we can look at the Milk Gibbs White situation. Everyone laughs and everyone does, but if you had like one of the best players, I don't know. Vardy. Didn't Vardy nearly go to Arsenal?
Well, he was ready to go, wasn't he?
Right. And what happened?
I think they'd agreed like a £35 million deal. Didn't
right.
they?
And what happened? What happened to that? He stayed at the club, didn't he?
Yeah, turned them down.
Right then. Yeah.
Oh no, I think Rebecca turned them down. I think that's probably what it was.
Yeah, but like I said, for us, we're going into Europe and we want to keep our best players. Gibbs White's best players, and Miss Monakas, like I said, I don't know the ins and outs. And everyone saw the video. Well, that's been a meme.
I just don't think he handles himself well.
But why?
He just doesn't. The way he just goes about things.
What's he done?
I just think maybe he could handle himself better in situations.
Jack, what's he done? No, tell me what he's done, and then I'll respond to it.
He wants to be front and centre in everything.
Like
he
what?
Has to make it about him and not the club.
Like what?
Just everything. You look at last season.
What did you do?
About the Leicester game at full time, and he could have handled that situation better.
Why? What did he do?
We went on one, didn't it?
With who?
I don't know. It looked like Nuno at one point.
No one knows.
Well, this is it.
This is the problem. He's a Greek owner got angry. He's a Greek owner that got angry about something about Taiwo, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Right.
Which you will be angry about because that's
exactly. So if he owns a club and he's going to see something, he's going to see that I'm not going to swear. He's cheesed off with. He's going to come on the pitch. It's his pitch. He owns the pitch. Let him come on the pitch.
He banned Gary Neville as well.
But what did Gary Neville say?
Did he ban Gary Neville for what he said?
Why? Yeah, exactly. What did he say?
I don't know what exactly Gary Neville said.
Gary Neville is absolutely because Gary Neville called him. What did Gary Neville call him? It's something. Right. Let me put it right. Jack, if someone called you something really bad, would you let him in the house?
No. You'd be pissed off with him, wouldn't you?
Right then. So what's Marcus done?
Banned him.
He said something bad, but it's twice. It's not once, but twice. Twice. So if he's calling twice, why am I going to let someone in my house and say, "Oh, okay, I've seen you," but he said something bad about me. Get out my house.
Exactly. I agree.
Exactly.
I'm in the same situation myself. If someone said something bad about me, to be out the door.
Exactly. So that's what he's done. He owns Forest. He owns the stadium.
Yeah.
Get out my house. Go on. Anymore. People in the comments. Anything like Marinakis has come. I'd love to know what because we've got all this crap that we're hearing about. Marinakis does this. Please let me hear what he's done.
Right, we're going to stop talking about Marinakis in Nottingham Forest.
Welcome to Nottingham Forest Fan TV, everybody.
We're not talking about Forest.
Chris, don't say that, Chris. Like I said,
Have you got any other plans this evening? I thought you'd have a show at 9 o'clock. What happened?
Well, I've been Costa, so
was it nice?
It was so nice, and then we brought in Gunn from Norwich, and that.
All right, 29-year-old.
Yeah. No, backup though. It's for backup goalkeeper. And that.
Wasn't he the guy that let 9 in at Southampton, Jack?
Yes, it was.
Chris is backup goalkeeper, not first choice.
Begovic is better than him, I'll be honest.
Who? Oh, is that where's he gone?
Leicester.
Oh, is that Leicester? He's crap as well. Didn't he get lobbed? No, he's the one that scored, didn't he? He scored
he did score a goal, yeah, in fairness. He's the third choice, though.
I'm going to ask you one question now.
Do you look forward to
score for tomorrow then against Fiorentina? I mean, they've saved their legs for your game. What do you reckon? Tough game?
They've got the difficult game out of the way, haven't they? They've got a couple of easy
ones. I want to win. I want to win, but it's just I want to see the new players. I want to see. But I saw them on Saturday. Well, I also wondered what new tactics that Nuno puts out. So I'm not bothered about the result at all. 2-1 Forest, 1-1. No. I want to lose 5-0. I want to lose 5-0 so everyone has a meltdown. Because that's what it is. When you lost your games, did you have a meltdown when Leicester lose?
I wouldn't say we had a meltdown.
Oh my God! The
thing is with us, we've got a new manager. We've got to sort of let him bed into his ideas. We've still got the players from last season, so there's not much we can really sort of look at it on a perspective, you know. I think we're focused more on the transfer windows and getting rid of players out the door than the games at the minute.
Listen, I'm whoa, Jude Hall. Are you getting a move for Jude Hall? He's going to Everton, isn't it?
Dewsbury Hall, yeah.
You got no selling clause for that?
No, I don't think so.
That's disgraceful, man. You should have got a clause on that.
I've asked different people, and they said they don't look like they've got one.
Oh, absolutely disgraceful, man. That's
how some of the business.
I hope you lot have a good season. Make sure you lot beat Derby. Make sure you lot beat Stoke. Who else do I hate? Who was
Sheffield United? Yeah.
Make sure you beat Sheffield United as well. I hope Coventry beat you lot as well. That's another Derby. Your main rivals and that. So yeah, Jag. You're doing your vlogs, yeah? You start your Premier League vlogs, yeah? Home and away.
Back on Sunday.
Yeah. Make sure everyone starts to subscribe to Jack, man, especially Chris as well. Because I want to see some funny videos and all that, some entertainment.
Funny videos. We'll see more from you this season than you will me.
We're in the Premier League. That's the difference. We're in the Premier League. You know. I hope I hope you'll suffer for 23 years like we did. I hope you'll suffer 23 years of hurt. That's how we felt. Huh?
Trying to show your real side now. 23 years.
You had your childhood not in the top division, didn't you?
I thought we were friends, Chris. I thought we were friends.
Hey, I'm doing well for your age there. I'm giving you a compliment. A sort of barbed compliment in a way.
a little compliment. I don't mind that. But yeah, I'll let you go. Do you talk about your Leicester stuff?
Well done.
But yeah.
Actually, all seriousness now, and I know you do, but yeah, good luck for the season.
Chris, because let me make this clear. When I told Jack this, when I told Anne, I've got no hate for Leicester, man. The only time I hate Leicester when I got abused with Leicester fans after the game. I think it was Jack's fault. This is your fault, Jack. This
What
is actually the Leicester fans giving me abuse after the game.
It's your own fault.
Why was it my fault?
It's the way you conduct yourself in saying you're going to batter us and that on your own channel. People
When
watching
did I say
them.
that? When did I say that? You said it.
You said 4-0. What did you say we're going to beat the City ground again? 4-0.
No, we beat 3-1. We beat 3-1.
I'm on about a City ground game. 2-2.
Yeah, let's talk about the one that
We don't live in the past, mate. Thinking about that 3-1 game at the KP.
So the one that stopped them getting Champions League. Is that the game?
I better go, people. Make sure everyone subscribes to
nail in it.
A what?
He put the final nail in it, didn't he, Buonanotte, in your Champions League hopes? Best game last season, I reckon, that. Forest away. I loved it. Nice hot weather, mate, and seeing you cry after it.
Ooh, I didn't cry. I did not cry. Don't you lie.
You did. You went missing after that game. I didn't receive no calls from you or nothing.
I blocked you. I blocked you.
Yeah, no, exactly. Right, you enjoy the rest of your evening.
Listen, right, people, make sure everyone hits the dislike button on Jack, because that's actually just great to what Jack just did, man. I've always showed you love, Jack.
All right. That's all right. You terrorised me on WhatsApp, so we're good.
Enjoy your season, Jack, and I hope you always
good luck next season, mate. All the best.
Battered as well next season.
Yeah. All right, peace and love, people. Make sure everyone just hit the subscribe for both of these, man. Legends, my boy. Jack, I'll see you soon on WhatsApp, my friend.
I will. See you in a year's time back in the That's that. We've got that out of the way.
Yeah. Anyway, so can we talk Leicester?
We can talk Leicester. I don't want to talk about bloody Marinakis, and I'm not here for that. You know. I don't know, Chris. I think we've lost the plot tonight. We've let him on for about 15 minutes, was it? For bloody wasting.
Yeah, that was just 15 minutes of fame, wasn't it?
Earache in the end. It made me want to switch the stream off. You probably wasn't even born when Forest won the European. He probably weren't.
Probably weren't. No. He's a young lad.
Yeah. Guys, always hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to Leicester Till I Die as well, which is that way, Chris. Chris, let's get on to a few other bits of Leicester. I tell you what, we're going to talk about more specific players. Defence, Caleb Akole. Talk to me about how good he's been.
He was my second choice for man of the match.
Yeah.
At the weekend. I think I, along with many Leicester fans, want to see Akole and Nelson together.
Yeah.
As our back two, the two central defenders, if we're playing four at the back. And I just think, again, so many players, and I hate to compare it to last season because we had a donkey in charge, so it wasn't surprised they were all asses. But he came on, he scored a goal, and then we never saw him again for how many weeks. I mean, he has got the talent. There's rumours about him going back to Italy. I hope not. We've got. I do think maybe we need to keep. And people will disagree with me here. Yannick for the one experienced defender that if we're under the cosh a little bit, the last 10-15 minutes, he can come on and just give us that bit of extra knowledge and experience. Yeah. But they two have got to be our starters, definitely.
This is what I sort of said, Chris. I definitely think Nelson and Akole would be fantastic together. I think they've both shown how good they are in pre-season. Akole's been instrumental. He's composed. He's strong. He's a unit at the back. Nothing really gets past him, Most of our best defensive positioning yesterday, and that was through Akole. He went from a back four to a back three. When they switched it up, Akole were going into that right side of the back three, and Nelson was in the middle to Wout Fassett was a more out left. Changed it with the versatile thing. But I definitely think that's the way we've got to go. But you look at fullbacks, Chris. I mean, Koulibaly Christensen. I mean, Christensen's going to be out for a bit, ain't he, due to whatever he's done at the training ground. But what's your initial thoughts on fullbacks? Because Ricardo, he's probably not going to play every game this season, is he? Because it's about keeping him fit in that.
I don't know if he'll play any game, to be honest with you. I mean, the guy's got injured before he's even kicked a ball in anger. I mean, you know, he's he is. No, it was rude. What was that last comment? Just bring that last comment up again.
Where is it? Which donkey are we referring to, Chris? Agent Cooper or Agent?
Either or. Stick a pin in the wall and see where it lands.
Back fit strong.
Those are totally 100%, Ronald.
He's back in December.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't have to be included in the first squad. He's going to play. But what has Suter done wrong? But looking on the wings, like I say, Ricardo, love him to bits, 75 grand a week to lay in a hospital bed. What the fuck we doing? You know, it's costing us nearly $4 million a year in wages, and he isn't going to play that much. We can see from his injuries. Just buy him out of his contract or do something. What Koulibaly has to do to get a game, I do not know. I thought he looked all right when he came on in that game, the one game that he actually played last season. You know, Aluko, I understand he's young and coming through, but, you know, why did Thomas get, and I like Thomas, but why did he get 90 minutes? Why wasn't he taken off? Aluko put on the left in his place and Koulibaly on the right. I mean, in Marty we trust, but
his decision.
We're always going to have questions, aren't we? But I'd love to see Koulibaly given a start. Maybe he can't do that inverted right back thing that the managers seem to like these days. Maybe that's the problem.
I think a lot of people in that first half yesterday were the ones that he's going to give the game to against Sheffield Wednesday. Your Fatawus, your Mavadidis.
You would think so, wouldn't you? Yes.
Jordan Ayuk, Caleb Okoli, I think will start. Vestergaard, you know he can do it in the Championship because he's proven that he can. It's just the Premier League is not good enough. You look at Olabadi Aluko, fantastic in pre-season. Luke Thomas will probably be the fullback starter. Justin apparently had a knock yesterday. He's been linked with Everton and Leeds. We know as much as that. Everton reportedly want to pay £6 million, which I'd snap your bloody hand off, if I'm honest with you, if they're offering us that. Skip, Fatawu, Mavadidi, Kole, Bilal Elkanous, Mads, Thomas, Ayew will all start on Sunday. You'd think most of them players would start, or even every single one of them.
I mean, right. I like Skip. Like I say, personally, or at least let's give him. I think he could do a Winks, and he could be the Winks that he a couple of seasons ago, as I said earlier, this season for us. So, I don't say, like I say, you know, this. I said earlier on Leicester Fan TV, I said he's supposed to be a box-to-box midfielder. He couldn't do box-to-box in Amazon Warehouse when, you know, they were a couple of feet apart. I mean, the guy is absolutely useless. But Skip and Wink, they can't play together. But I think that they, like I say, I'd have one of them in anyway. But yeah, I think.
Mate.
Sorry.
What's your thoughts on Ayew, Chris?
I love him. I hated him when we signed him.
How many goals is he getting this season?
Golden Boot.
Really? Golden Boot?
No, I jest. Look, we need another striker.
In the Championship, what do you reckon? Ayew to get 50? No, I'm joking.
You're being sillier than me now. Look, I didn't like Ayew when we bought him, and I think if you put Ayew on the wing, then
you don't influence the game at all.
No, he's not. Well, you're all right. He could be a winger. I think it says that on his details. But when we signed him, and I spoke to where was it we got him from? Palace, was it?
Yeah, Crystal Palace for £8 million.
I had a Palace fan on, and he said, "What Ayew will do for you is he'll hold the ball up, or it'll go over." Man, me and Scott. Same thought. Oh, he'll go over and get you a free kick. And I said last season, I said I cannot wait to see Ayew with Elkanous, Fatawu, and Mavadidi behind him coming through. Get that ball up to Ayew, let him hold it up and have those three, or Monga and Mabadidi and all have them coming on and getting the ball. And it's like I say, he got the first goal yesterday. He wouldn't have got that goal last season because he wouldn't have been in the box.
Tasty, eh, Chris?
Yeah.
Thinking about it, telling you.
Yeah, it does. I mean, that is so exciting.
Reese.
You know.
Do you know what?
I can't wait.
Do you know what, though, Chris? Like, Jordan Ayew's work rate this pre-season has been exceptional. He's everywhere. He comes back. He holds the ball up for the players to get in behind. He's doing everything Martin Cifuentes wants from him.
Yeah.
And he doesn't look tired at all. It's like he come off yesterday from a sub, and you could tell how hard he'd actually worked because it looked like he couldn't carry himself off the pitch because Jordan Ayew is better down the middle. He'll score goals when put on a plate for him. He scores probably 9 times out of 10 next season in front of goal, if I'm honest. Daka, it just isn't going to happen. Do you know what? It frustrated me yesterday with Daka when he come on. He makes that good run from Harry Winks' pass and that touch. And then McAteer should have done better. But him and Daka went
in each other's way, I think, didn't they? But that was a Sunday League pub football team hungover.
Reece, mate, he's got the pace that you think he has, mate. He's definitely having a masterclass this season.
Say, Reece, check your messages for me. Sorry, while you're on, just to say that. They got in each other's way, but that was a poor first touch from Daka, you know.
Kone with the wingers could be diabolical. That's a bad thing, isn't it?
I think he's saying it as a good thing.
Nelson was an absolute Rolls Royce yesterday. Do you know what?
He was when he came on.
Chris, I've got one for you, actually.
Oh, God.
Captaincy. Who do you reckon will be captain? Because Hamza had the captain's armband yesterday. Harry Winks has had it. Ricardo's had it this pre-season. Ben Nelson's had it. Who do you reckon will be captain next season? I think Ricardo's club captain at the minute, isn't he? Obviously. Who do you think should be like second captain?
You know what? I wouldn't be worried if they handed it around. You know, what is the club captain really do? You know, it's not like in cricket where you've got to make all the decisions because your manager's a couple of yards away. Yeah, I'd give it to Hamza. I really would. I thought Hamza did really well. He was actually, I'm going to get hate for this, but he was my man of the match yesterday. I think he did all right. Sorry?
Versatile right back yesterday. I thought he was good.
I thought he teamed up with Fatawu so well down that right hand side. He was after every ball. The end of the first half, I don't know if he was tripped or he fell over or whatever, but he fell over. He was on the ground. Fiorentina were breaking. He got up and ran back into position. None of this sort of, I'm injured or anything like that. Please stop the game, ref. He got up and he ran back into position to help his defence out. You would never see Samaru couldn't run that quickly if his wife had her legs open and she was in bed waiting for him. Yeah. So I mean, I've got to say, Hamza, he's got to be. He's got to be. I don't know. I mean, a couple of seasons ago we were complaining about Hamza, weren't we? But he did all right under Rodgers. I like him, and I would give him the captaincy.
Yeah. Right back, yeah, he's got pace to get back and forth. Do you know what I like about Spanish managers? They don't have none of this nonsense of diving on the floor and that, or being down for when they're not really injured. He wants them to fight for every ball. He wants them to chase everything. And you look at Fiorentina yesterday. They had one player, I think it was the number 61. He was running us for pace, and then they brought Moises Keane on. He was doing the same. But it weren't just one Leicester player getting him. It were like 3 or 4, and I'm thinking, hold on a minute. Like, when did you actually see that last season? Like,
you never
shows how much he's actually improved them as a squad and how hard they're actually working for him. But what I like about him, Chris, is he's telling them you have to work for your spot in that squad. It's not a fucking given, and that is great to see.
It was. I mean, look, last season you lose 14 out of 15 games, and you still know your position's going to be safe. This is essentially without the youngsters, it's basically the same squad as Rude had.
Yeah.
And I have seen so much improvement from last season to this season just by bringing a manager in that knows what he's doing.
I agree, Jamie. I really agree with what you're saying there. Chris, let's get on to some transfers. I tell you what, we'll talk about Ndidi, because Ndidi, Besiktas have had a bid accepted, haven't they, of around £8.2 million. They're saying they'll pay £9 million, which is a release clause. It has been put out today in the media again. Ertaç Suzgun, who's one of the main media out in Turkey for Besiktas, Fenerbahce. He says Besiktas have reached that agreement with Leicester. All that matters regarding the transfers and Ndidi's contract have also been sent to the player now. The signature is expected, and Besiktas complete the Ndidi transfer. Their priority will be left wing after. What's your thoughts on Wilf leaving Leicester? I mean, 8 years, Chris. He's had his good times at Leicester, hasn't he? But I just think now it's probably the best time to leave the football club.
If we can get 9 million for him, yes. You know,
he's had some great years, hasn't he? And obviously,
don't get me wrong. Yeah, I mean, it was when he started. He was never the same for me when he came back from his injury.
Yeah,
you know, he'd lost that little bit. I think if he stays, then it stops one of the youngsters coming through.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking to see how much he's on a week. It's a fair bit.
60k.
He's on 75,000 a week.
Is that what he's on?
Yeah. 3.9 million a year. Selling for 9 million.
Is that Capology, by the way?
Yeah, no, that's Sportac.com.
I use Capology.
I mean, there's several you can use, and look, these things you don't know how on the ball they are. You've got to take them at face value. Yeah. But so we're getting 9 million for him. We're saving 4 million a year on his contract.
Yeah.
On wages, I mean. He's got 2 seasons left, so that's 8 million we're going to be saving. So in real terms, whoever you're going to get in, if you get somebody in, and you've got to say, if he goes, do we need to bring anybody in? We've got, Skippy, we've got Winks.
Yeah.
Do we, one of them each game with a youngster? Do we really need anybody? And if we do, let's bring Josh Brownhill in. I know he's a little bit older, but he's a fantastic, attacking midfielder, and was 1 goal off the Golden Boot last season. Don't have to pay anything for him. Unfortunately, I don't think we'll get him because I think there's some Premier League clubs in for him. But yeah, I'm sorry. I love you, Wilf, but I think it's time to go.
This is why I sort of look at it. I'm thankful for what he's done for the football club in his 8 years. It's been a ride on it for him. He has won. He's been a part of that FA Cup team, and that he's had some good games. The chant goes by the name, done it. Wilfred Ndidi will take the ball from you. It's happened. His injuries have hindered him, though. He did work well under Enzo Maresca, but last season it just didn't work at all. And the wages, you need to get them off the books, don't you, Chris, to get other players in? To be honest, Leicester need to sell players. And we need money to buy players. So
sometimes we look at, for me, I think sometimes we look at these players and we remember them as they were, you know. And look, we love Jamie Vardy to bits, but the Jamie Vardy of last season was not the Jamie Vardy of 5 or 6 seasons ago. And it's the same with Wilf, it was the same with Casper. You've got to take your blue tinted glasses off and look at them and go, yeah, they were great, but they're not now.
I think his best years are behind him. I love Wilf. I think he's been a great servant to the football club, but sometimes you've got to sit and say, maybe it's time to move on so we can build something different now. And I think it'd work out for him in the Turkish league. I think they've got a good number 6 on their hands when he does. But if they can keep him fit, it's good for him. But it sort of gave me the inkling, Chris, yesterday when I was watching the game. Said to my brother, I said, Wilf hasn't come on. has something happened behind the scenes? And then all of a sudden, yesterday evening, it were like, yeah, Besiktas have had an accepted bid. And obviously, there's going to be a lot of clubs interested, aren't there? Like your Bundesliga clubs, which have been touted about. But I think Besiktas are the ones that are really pushing on it at the minute. But then you look at one player who... Go on.
So I'm going to say, come on, Leicester. Don't piss about. If it's not exactly 9 million, if it's 8 million or 7.5, accept it now. Because if we don't, we will be, we might have to sort of take 5 million for him on transfer deadline day or something. Let's just get on with these things. Stop dragging them out.
Chris Brownhill, 29, 13 December. I said yesterday to a friend, if we get him on a 50 grand a week contract, we're on a 3-4 year deal, it would be good because you know what he's going to offer in the Championship. You know how good he is. But it's down to Brownhill if he's going to accept that. Tom says you look at his stats last year, 18 goals. His assists are good. He's older, but a solid player in the Championship and lower Premier League, just a 4. But obviously Brownhill, he has got promotions under his belt, hasn't he, with Burnley. He's been very good for them in the, 5 years? Did he spend 5 years?
Yeah,
And he's a player that some fans are like, do you know what? It's a no-brainer. It's a free agent type of thing. But Leicester don't want to be silly, do they, Chris, and going off for 80 grand a week, 90 grand a week to sort of get these players, because this is what the wage strategy is going to be the issue now, isn't it? We need to change it up a bit more.
Well, according to Capology, he was on 45 grand a week at Burnley. If we offer him 50, 55, he's 30, like you say, in December. Giving him a 4-year contract, which is some of the rumours, I think is a bit silly when you're that old. And he's going to be looking at this possibly being his last move.
It's the salary which we're going to have the issue with.
Yeah, exactly. So do we give him a 2-year contract or 3-year like AU? AU was on 2, Dakova Reed's on 3. But we know that it's going to be his last season. We're not going to get anything for him. But let's be honest, we're not going to get anything for him. But we've not paid anything for him. Now, I've got a friend, Dan from Turf Moor House TV. He's a Burnley fan, and I said, what do you think of him? And he said he's fantastic at this level.
Yeah,
you get him.
Chris, behind Bilal for Fatawa and that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, this is the thing. I mean, look, everybody's saying, "Oh, he's too old. He's, what's a good."
You need times in that squad.
Sorry?
Sometimes you need that experience with young players.
If we go out and buy a 23, and I said this earlier, if we go out and buy a 23, 24-year-old, why? We've got that sort of age midfielder in Seagrave, in the squad. So if we go out and buy one of them, then we are looking at stopping. We would then stop at looking at maybe an Alves or something like that, making the breakthrough. So why? Somebody like this has got the experience. Yeah. Would I take Brownhill over Winks? Yes. Would I take Brownhill over Skip? Yes. And I know the different, defenders and attacking and all that.
Yeah.
This guy, he's a captain. Yeah, exactly. I don't think we'll get him, though. I think he will go Premier League. But, I'd have him, 100%.
It's a £9 million profit for Ndidi, too, because they let him go out as a free agent, didn't they, and signed him as a free agent. So it gives £9 million in profit for PSR with Ndidi. So Leicester have done well.
What? How often do we criticise Mr. Woodkin for the deals he does?
Well, this is it.
And yet, here we go. This has happened. Let's just give him a bit of praise, shall we?
I think Brownhill is the same. He's too good for the Championship, but not good enough for the Prem, potentially.
So remember where we are. And what if we don't go up this season? What if we're slapped with 9, 12 points?
Yeah.
And we don't get into the playoffs. We have hit a bad patch on. We don't get into the playoff. We could have 2 seasons in this division, right? So he would be good, I think,
So taking into the possible points deduction, Chris.
Yes.
What do you reckon? Where do you think we'll finish? I've got us down as 3rd, realistically. If we don't get a points deduction, we're definitely finishing top 2, even winning the championship. But I've took into the points deduction. Maybe we could still push for a top 2 finish, potentially 2nd place. But I think with a points deduction, I've sort of said 3rd place. What about you?
I did a prediction show recently, and I've got us in the promotion playoff places.
Yeah.
I don't know that that's going to be 3rd, 4th, 5th, or 6th, because, like you say, it depends on the. But even with the points deduction, I think we've just got to be careful that we don't kind of go. Because look, we all went, mad with Enzo, and we're 17 points clear. Then we hit the bit of the iceberg, and we, ended up only, going up by 7 points. So, let's not get too overconfident. If we finished 7th, I don't know, did somebody ask earlier, it might have been on a different show, but what would we count as failure this year?
Yeah.
If we didn't go up and we finished 7th, is that the worst thing in the world? No, I don't think it is, because that will give the youngsters another season to get right. Would I sooner go up this season to come straight back down again, or would I sooner not go up? When we do go up, have a better chance of staying up? It's the latter one 100% of the time for me.
Me and Steve were on about it yesterday when we were chatting, and we said 110 points, bang on. You look at our squad, Chris. Points deduction or not, we should finish on a high total next season, because this squad is good. It's not quite Premier League with some of the players in the squad, but
on paper, good.
It is good enough for the champ. Very good for
the paper. It is brilliant, but unfortunately, football's played on grass.
It is.
Somebody a lot better than me once said.
2 points on offer.
I'm just thinking, let's not get carried away. We've had a good pre-season, and look, love him or hate him, Door's quite right. It is just a pre-season at the end of the day. And I'm just, we've got to remember, we're talking Leicester here. We are talking the team that is better than anybody else in English football at shooting themselves in the foot. And you got injuries, you got 40. I'd love to say automatic, even with the points.
I agree.
I think it's playoffs. If we didn't make it this season, I wouldn't be crying in me. I knew you'd disagree, Reese. Knew you would.
Pretty sure said tomorrow was faster. We need to talk sense.
I don't know what Reese isn't well, which is why I'm not doing a show at the moment. So Reese, I think you've had too much of the Lemsip, to be honest with you. But I think we will go up one way or another. If we don't, let's look at Leeds. I honestly think out of I know the 3 that have gone up are the 3 favourites to come down. But if I had to pick any of the 3 teams that have gone up to stay up, it would be Leeds. Because I think that extra season down will have done them some good. And I think it would be the same with us. But I hope we go up first time.
Try it, mate. I still think we've got a better squad than Ipswich and Southampton.
I don't get everybody's. I get Ipswich because look, last season, Steve Cooper went out and he said, "I'm buying experienced players," and there's a thin line between experienced and old.
Yeah.
You're not going to blame me if we get relegated because we've got a young squad. Ipswich, on the other hand, went out and bought youngsters and championship level players, and it was going to be interesting to see where we finished. As it happened, we both went down. So I think Ipswich are better geared up to come up. I don't get this where people are thinking Southampton will. you know, we'll still. I'm not convinced by him. You know, everybody seems to think the sun shines out of his arse. I'm not so sure.
It takes time. It does.
Yeah, I don't think Southampton. I think they. I don't. Well, I think they probably will be in the playoffs. But
on what basis, Chris?
Oh, which point is that, Fox?
I don't know which one he's actually on
No,
about.
no. If you tell me which one it is, then I can
Elaborate.
explain. Yeah, and then be honest, look, I mean, Fox, we you know, these. It's all about opinions. I'm not saying my opinion is right. It's just my opinion, and you know, you have your opinion.
That's no debate.
Is question for Jack or Chris? Is Casper or Mads the best keeper?
Kasper Schmeichel.
A million times Casper Schmeichel. But, you know, you're talking age difference there, aren't you? Come on, you know.
To be fair, I watched the Rotherham Port Vale game on Sunday. Nombe looked good, menacing his attack and made himself useful. Agree on Southampton, bang average.
Hey, well done, Fox.
If they lose Tyler Diblin, he's very good for them. And they're on about losing him to, is it Everton? Everton have made the bid of around £43 million today. That's including add-ons, by the way. I don't get into none of it. But that's the thing, Chris, with the Championship. It's different level to the Premier League. It is. You go up there, and the three teams that have gone up on the last 2 years haven't stayed up, have they? And this is why I look at Leeds, Burnley, and who was it? Leeds, Burnley, and Sunderland. It's going to be a struggle for them to stay up there. You can spend 150 million.
Yeah, but look at the three that went up last season.
Yeah.
You know, Southampton, they had a manager who stuck to the rigid way of playing and were awful.
Yeah.
Leicester, we had a stupid bloody manager that stuck to a rigid way of playing. I mean, I'm not saying any of us would have stayed up with different decisions. You know, Ipswich stuck with the manager and they still got relegated. The gap is getting bigger. You have to be careful if you don't go up reasonably quickly. You know, you could do a Forest and be down for 20 plus years. You look at that. And yet, I won't argue, you look at that league and it doesn't look threatening.
Nah.
But
it's
Leicester we're talking about, that's the bloody thing, you know?
That's what I think cost us last time, Chris, in the Championship. We made mistakes. The Plymouth game, the Millwall game, the games that we did lose, the Leeds United game, we made mistakes. If we scored goals, like Patson Daka in front of the Ellen Road one, if he'd put that away, we would have scored. If we took our chances,
but then again,
it puts some maybes in it, you know.
It is, but then again, would we had a manager then who was again
that way. Me and Chris have agreed probably on everything so far.
We have, I think we have.
We're only a striker away, Chris, from a near enough complete side. Looking at the rest of the league, I'm struggling to see another team that the depth we have.
You're right, Jack. Totally 100%.
It's the league.
I was watching another channel earlier, non-Leicester. You know, and they said that we've got the best squad in the Championship. We probably have. But if you go back under to Enzo, when you were saying when we threw it away, again, he wouldn't make changes. But we've got a manager here, I think, in Cifuentes, who will look at something and go, yeah, that's worked for me for 20 games. But the last 3 or 4, it hasn't. So maybe I need to tweak it. Enzo wasn't a tweaker.
Are you coming in, Steve? Are you will win us games and makes me... Do you know what? Someone's actually spoke about the odds about the Championship. Where is it? House Culture, that's it. The odds, Patson Daka is 22-1. Jordan Ayew 16-1 for top scorer in the Championship. If Richard Kone does come in, which we're going to discuss him in a second. Chris, who have you got for Player of the Year for Leicester this season?
Oh my God!
You got your money up? For me.
Yeah, I mean you can't. I mean, on what we've seen, you can't look past Fatawu, can you? Really? But let's not rule out. The two we mentioned earlier, Akoli and Nelson.
Yeah.
Fatawu will probably look. You'll see him because he's going to be getting the goals and what have you, isn't he?
The way we played against Fiorentina, I can't see any team in the Championship taking my points off us. I know Fiorentina are 2 weeks behind us in preparation, but they were still playing when we finished.
Yeah, everybody said that. Everybody was saying, well, they're 2 years behind us. They're 2 weeks behind us.
Yeah.
But look, that's a squad. That's a squad that's been together for a few years, or maybe 1 or 2 changes. And that's a squad that finished 6th last season and has qualified for Europe. So, the fact that they are two weeks behind us shouldn't really make that much difference.
Here's my mate. Steve, how are we?
How are we doing, lads? Not too bad yourself?
Is it Steve? I don't know.
It's Steve, yeah, it's Steve. Call me Steve. Yeah. Elm's just a Twitter handle because it's my middle name. So.
Oh, okay. Steve, nice to meet you, mate.
Go on then, Steve. We've discussed a lot regarding the Championship and that. We spoke about it yesterday. We were a bit like a fanboy in these situations. When Jordan Ayew scored, we were like, you know what, this guy's getting 50 goals next season, no problem. I think we exaggerated a bit. We didn't actually look at the reality of it. But what was your initial thoughts on yesterday and everything else regarding today?
I feel like we controlled the first half. And we played some nice football actually. The whole game, I don't think they really laid a glove on us, and they're a good European side, Fiorentina. The second half, it was a little bit pedestrian in the second half. I'm not going to lie, it was a bit quieter. But then again, we did have a couple of chances that could have gone either way. We could have scored a couple more. But yeah, I actually thought it was a decent performance, which is considering what we've had in the last year. It's good to hang your hat up on a decent performance for a change.
They didn't have a shot on target yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
That surprises you, actually. Do you know what? I think does that show how good we were yesterday, or does that show how poor they were? Because people say, yeah, but you beat Fiorentina's second side. I'm just like, mate, I'm not being funny, but they brought all their best players on second half. And most of them played last season in the Italian league and finished 6th. So I don't know how you can come up with that excuse. Fiorentina should have been a harder game than the Con game because they're a better side. So I don't know how people can excuse it. Uncle Ayew should bag 10 goals. I said to Steve yesterday, we were talking about Mitrovic, and Steve said if Mitrovic can score 40, Ayew's getting 50, and we were sort of having a laugh about it, different things yesterday during the second half, and Steve said, all right, well, we'll finish on 110 points. And obviously there's about 130 odd points, I think it is.
Yeah.
The whole league itself. So who really stands out for you, Steve? Who are you most looking forward to sort of seeing in that squad next season? Well, Sunday, should we call it now? Because it's not far away, 6 days.
Yeah. Abdul, to be honest, we got robbed of him last year with the injury. I don't think it would have saved us, but we probably would have had a better performance if we had Abdul on the pitch instead of Di Cannavaro or whoever else was on there. So it's good to get him back from the injury and see him sort of run right this season. I mean, we can all talk about the younger lads like Monga and Aluko and Alves and those sort of players, but realistically, if we keep El Kanous, I'm looking forward to seeing what he does in the Championship. I don't think he stays, but either way. Fatawu, and I think Ndidi. He couldn't quite make the step up last year, but he was good in the season before. And if those two can hit the ground running on the wings on Sunday, and score a couple or get a couple of assists or whatever, it's just to get on the hype train because the wingers are important to the system. For the pressing and stuff. So, that's where the majority of the attacking play will come from. So, it's nice. It's nice to have some decent wingers at the club.
Chris, what have you learned from Marty Cifuentes' style of football? What's impressed you? Like, what things have you actually looked at and thought, you know what? This is fantastic. I really like it of what he's doing and what the things that he's actually learning the players to adapt to and What's really stood out for you regarding the manager?
He didn't do us anything. It wasn't a high bar to come into to impress anybody, was it? Let's be honest. The biggest thing I'm going to take away from the pre-season, and this goes down to Kingy as well when he was there, and I said earlier, the fact that I rediscovered that every football pitch has two halves. Because I'd forgotten last season that, there was an opposition half because we never went into the bloody thing. And if we did, it was like, oh shit, what am I doing here? Let me get back into my own half. And the fact, as I said earlier, Ayew's goal, I don't think he'd have got that last season under Ruud van Nistelrooy because he wouldn't have been in that position. And what I saw yesterday was a lot of just short, the triangle passes between players, How many times last season I called it, me on FIFA, you had to pass a ball and you kick it out to play, and how many passes went astray last season? Virtually most of them. We were managing to find. We suddenly realised that Leicester are playing in blue, in Scott, and so that we were first, second to most of the balls yesterday. I mean, where do I stop? The whole performance totally. I can say with Hamza Chowdhury, he fell over, he got up and he ran back to make sure he was in position and help the defence out.
Yeah.
And how many players would you have seen do that? How many players could run last season? I just can't. I mean, I'm close to sort of ending up with a stiffy if I'm not careful. It was just a pleasure to see. And when you've got a manager in, and like I say, the players, apart from the youngsters, the older players, he's getting a tune out of them where, Ruud van Nistelrooy didn't. And I'm really looking forward to the season,
Steve, what about you?
So I said this to you yesterday, I'm a bit annoyed because realistically, we should all still be angry at the club because nothing's really changed from last season in regards to the playing squad. Okay, we've seen players leave now, which, is great, but there's been no change at the top of the club. But I hate the fact that, when a new manager comes in, you get that excitement back, and then it's a new season. So you're like, okay, I've got a bit of hope again. And this is Leicester, as we all know, that any hope you get will soon be kicked out of you by Christmas. It's just the way it is. But you sit there and you look at the players that we've got coming through and the players that we are now linked with as well. And even if we are moving players on, so there is that sort of excitement of being like, there is a little bit of a rebuild going on here. So I am excited. And I said to my wife earlier, I am genuinely annoyed that I'm so into it already. It usually takes me a couple of games to get properly into it, but no, I'm right there. I've got my ticket for Huddersfield and Preston away. I'm season ticket holder now, so I'm going to go to as many games this season as I physically can. I hate that it pulls you back in. You try and escape and you just can't. It's like a whirlpool. You're swimming against the tide, but you're always going to get sucked back in.
Yeah.
Steve, you seemed annoyed yesterday when I mentioned the name Jordan Ayew. We did talk about it full time. You said I seemed annoyed yesterday that Jordan Ayew were that good, and I was like, bloody hell, Steve, these players that you were heavily criticising, you feel annoyed that they've changed your perspective of them.
Well, you could still heavily criticise their applications last season. My issue with Ayew wasn't so much that because he was one of our better performers last year, and I don't like it. I like admitting that. But that's mainly down to the fact that we spent a good amount of our transfer budget on an experienced player that really didn't fit the style of play that we were potentially going for. Nobody knew what we were playing last season, though. Let's be honest. But it's so I'm okay with Ayew as a bit part player this year. If he comes on off the bench or if he starts games, it is what it is. He's going to score goals in this league, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But what I don't want him to do is then take away the positions from Fatu and Mavididi, which he did last season with Mavididi and the wingers. So
I think just to come back with you on that, Steve, I agree with you 100%. You cannot play Ayew on the wings.
Yeah,
no way. But as a striker that can hold the ball up, and we touched on this earlier, didn't we, Jack? A striker that can hold the ball up, to have those wingers and El Kanous and Monga, McAteer, whoever is in the three behind, that's brilliant, And we've got 46 games. He ain't going to last 46 games. So he's not going to be starting every game. Who would I sooner see up front? I think Ayew over Daka.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Over Daka for
But
sure.
we still do need possibly another striker in. That's the thing.
Right, let's cut you there. We're going to get on to the man himself, actually.
Yeah, I thought I'd lead you into it there, Jack.
This man he's been heavily linked with Leicester. He's been linked with other clubs. But Ben Jacobs had a perspective this morning of Swansea and Leicester are the clubs that are interested in Richard Kone. Swansea are more advanced of the two clubs as it stands, but Leicester considered bid. Did score quite a few goals last season. He's likely to leave for £5 million, which it's not a bad gamble for Leicester City.
No.
I think they should take it. But we fast forward to tonight, this evening, and BBC Sport Wales are now saying that Ollie McBurney and Richard Kone are looking very unlikely to join the Championship club. Ollie McBurney is going to Hull. Richard Kone doesn't look like he's going to be making the switch from Adams Park to the Liberty Stadium this transfer window. Leicester City it does look like Leicester City are the only club for Richard Kone now going forward in the race to sign him in pursuit. QPR have been brought up, but it's whether that's just a link thing. With the media, it just seems to be a Swansea and Leicester type of thing. So Swansea are out the race for him. Chris, now you've led me into it. I want your thoughts on Richard Kone. £5 million. We have now got rid of Conor Cody. Wilfred Ndidi looks imminent that he will be leaving Leicester City this summer transfer window. What's your thoughts on the Wycombe 22-year-old striker?
Let's be honest with you. 5 million in today's football terms is nothing. It's like, 100,000 a few years. You can't afford 5 million on a player, then we really are in trouble. And look, he's young. I don't know too much about him. I'm gonna no, they'll refuse that. I like the cut of his jib. 41 games last season, 21 goals. That's literally almost one. Well, there's a few more cup games, but he's getting 1 in 2, 1 in 3. How we would love that. He's young, and look, we've been there, haven't we, buying the big names and what have you, and it hasn't always worked out. We don't do so bad when we buy strikers from lower league teams. Jamie Vardy, so I think it's worth taking front on for 5 million. But I don't know. I'd like somebody to don't know whether either of you know the sort of player he is. Is he a Daka sort of player, or is he an Ayew sort of player?
I've got a thread. So last season he finished in top League One. He did finish well in the goal scoring sort of things. He did win Player of the Year for League One last season. He also won Young Player of the Year. He's now 22 years old. Style and impact is a clinical finisher in the box. A smart off the ball movement, strong in aerial duels, presses the ball from the front, never static, which is Leicester City like to press from the front, which you've seen yesterday against Fiorentina. Mentality wise, from street football to pro level, not just a goal scorer, but a system changing striker.
Sounds good, doesn't it?
It sounds tasty, doesn't it? We're putting him in that front four.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts, Steve, before we go more into the thread of Richard Kone?
I like the look of him. I'll be honest with you, I only really heard of him after we had a chat about him a couple of weeks ago. That's not that I knew that he won Player of the Year at League One, but I didn't know much else about him. So I did go back and look at some of the videos on him and his style of play. Yeah, he's a quick striker that is a bit raw still. He does have a little bit of the Daka about him in the way that he runs sometimes, controls the ball, but he's still young. And as you said, 5 million for a striker nowadays isn't a lot of money, especially when you can spread it over his contract.
That's when you spent £20 million on Daka 4 years ago.
Exactly, and I think that's a lot less pressure on him as well, because there's no big price tag, and if he doesn't work out, you're not going to lose a lot of money by selling him on. He won't come on for a lot of money in regards to wages either, which is good. My only worry, and just somebody mentioned it in the chat, but with the fact that we've got Fatawu, Daka, potentially Kone, and Ayew during AFCON in December, all of those players leave.
Garner's not in the AFCON.
Oh, they're not? Okay, well, that's fine.
Jordan Ayew will be staying.
Yeah, let's go. Come on.
Jordan Ayew and Fatawu will be staying with Leicester in December. The only ones that will be going is Richard Kone if he signs for Leicester City, and Patson Daka is going to Zambia.
Yeah, which
he probably won't be going.
We won't miss Daka, will we? Let's be honest.
No.
Yeah.
To be fair, we missed Fatu last time, even though we didn't actually go to AFCON. He got sent off at Coventry and missed the entire game during the tournament anyway. So, but I think he'd be a smart signing for sure.
The interesting thing is, if we'd signed this player last season, it wouldn't have mattered who we signed last season because we weren't getting the ball in the box to them, and we weren't getting the ball that up forward. So, I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer. But it's any player you buy, and I tell you what, my big worry here is, when we sign him, he's coming from a lower, and I've just said before about Jamie Vardy, he's coming from a lower league team, that we're going to be getting the, well, he's no Jamie Vardy, is he? Mm-hmm. When we lost Riyad Mahrez, how many players did we get where we were going, well, it's not Riyad Mahrez, is he? Probably only now that we've got Fatawu where we've actually shut up about that. And no player that comes in is going to be a Jamie Vardy, but we can't compare other players, and we do automatically because that's what we do as football fans. But I just hope that we don't tar him with that brush.
Right, let's have a look at the other part of the thread. So his heat map is most active centrally and slightly left, drops deep at times to link up play, big moments. He scored the fastest hat-trick in Wycombe Wanderers history, by the way. Mm-hmm. 9 minutes it took him to score, so I'm expecting...
I was going to say, that could mean 80 minutes. What was it?
I'm thinking about that against Sheffield Wednesday on Sunday, so that'll be helpful. His strengths are killer instinct in front of goal, intelligent positioning and runs, physical presence to hold off defenders, consistent performer. He's still 22 in a rapid growth, so he has got a big ceiling. He can play at the highest level. His weaknesses is probably tight areas, which isn't really elite, to be honest. Leicester are monitoring him closely, and Kone is the type of striker you can't defend casually. He doesn't wait for service. He hunts the space, bullies defenders, and smells goals, which it sounds like Yakubu, doesn't it, when he were here once?
It does sound a little bit Vardy-esque, let's be honest.
It does, doesn't it?
A little
Finding
bit.
that space, getting away from them defenders, hungry for goals.
Yeah.
And he does, but I just don't want people just putting that pressure on him.
Yeah.
If he doesn't hit the ground running, and then obviously Jamie Vardy would have got that, Oh, Jamie Daka won't have got that, but Jamie Vardy might have done.
Well, he hasn't been called up to the Ivory Coast first team yet. Sounds like Didier Drogba. Yeah. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Are you describing Tom Cannon? I bloody hate, mate. Sheffield United still want that £10 million back, by the way. But Chris, Kone then. Leicester, Swansea have pulled out the race because they're not going to pay $5 million for him. Leicester are considering the bid this morning. We don't know what's happened since. Maybe we'll hear more tomorrow regarding it. QPR have been linked in the last few days, haven't they? But the media haven't really come out to say QPR are one of the clubs. Ipswich have got Akpom, haven't they? I know Ipswich name did get mentioned a few days ago.
Yeah.
But Leicester City's main aspect is to get a striker in and someone who's going to fit the bill of the Marty Cifuentes style of football, and Richard Kone ticks all the boxes.
I've got to say, are we going to letting Edouard go back to Palace? I'm joking. I am joking. Look, could kill then. Steve. I was 6 foot under. I was joking.
That was the look I gave Reece when he said Samari was a really fast player. I was like,
right, God, I'm not going to say anything bad again after that look. I'll tell you. You've got kids, by the way.
No, not.
Well, when you do, you've only got to look at them and they'll do as they're told. I'll tell you. What was the question, Jack? Sorry.
Kone, Leicester need the striker, don't they? This is probably the last piece to the puzzle regarding Leicester's team this season. They need a goal scorer, someone who's going to put the ball in there. Jordan Ayew's not going to do it over 46 games.
No, agree.
So Richard Kone is young, still developing. He fits the system well. How do you think he'll fit into that Marti Cifuentes team? How you looked at it in the Fiorentina game yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, don't forget we've also got Evans as well as an option. And has they? Bloody hell.
Yeah, £6 million someone paid. I think it were a swap deal or something.
Oh my God. And I'm sort of leaving Bobby De Cova-Reid out because
we could have paid Fred Ward, Chris.
Don't. Like I say, and Bobby De Cova-Reid, I'm leaving him out of the thing as well. But again, he was playing all right.
On Instagram, he's actually put a picture of like a Santa.
Oh, he's actually turned up. He's remembered where he's.
He was part of the Jamaica squad, wasn't he, for the Gold Cup? So he's only come back from pre-season now. So that only ended a couple of weeks ago.
Couldn't they have kept him over there? Couldn't some drug gang have kidnapped him and held him for ransom?
No, Trump would have deported him.
That's true. But I think he could fit in well. Like you say, he fits Cifuentes' style, and he's young. We don't need any more 30-year-olds up front. Like I say, we've got Bobby and we've got Jordan. I would be very excited. I wouldn't have been excited under Rude because I don't think he'd have been, like I say, we could have bought bloody Messi up front and it'd have been, we'd have never got the bloody ball to him, would we? But I think with Marty, the more I'm talking myself into really getting excited about this season.
It's that whirlpool. It's coming for you.
I'm being pulled in. Exactly.
What about you, Steve?
I'm excited for the season. I think Marty it will fit in the system for Cifuentes for sure. The fact that he drops deep a little bit, we saw that with Ayew yesterday. He kept dropping deep into the space between Kudus and the wingers. And if he can do that, like it sounds like he can, then great. I think what is also important to say is that he's going to be playing in a much better squad than Wycombe, so his ability will hopefully increase. If he's playing with better players and
price tag
getting the ball on the plate, confidence will be a key thing. If he hits the ground running, then I don't think there's any stopping him really. But the issue is if he comes on against Sheffield Wednesday, if we sign him before then, and he misses 2 or 3 chances against a poor Wednesday side that that might not even play, who knows? But that could be a bit of an issue. But I just can't see it. I think if a young lad who's confident, moving up to another league, playing with better players, and having somebody like the friendship with like Fatawu and all those sort of players, I can't wait. Genuinely, I can't wait.
I'm not laughing at you, mate. I'm laughing at that comment.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. To be fair, he could learn a few things from Daka in regards to not doing certain things.
He was true.
Don't hit it off your ass. Don't hit the corner flag from a shot when you're on goal. Maybe don't fall over when you're one-on-one with the keeper. If you get the ball past to you, don't panic like it's a time bomb and you've got 4 seconds left. Control it. It's fine.
But the thing is, let's say the good thing for me about it is, like you said, with it's only somebody just said then, we paid $5 million for Golding. Let's do a Chelsea. Look, if we're paying $5 million for him, give him a 5-year deal. He's only 22, and then it's only costing you $1 million a year.
Agreed. Boys, I'm going to ask you one more question each. So, with Ndidi looking to be the next one out the door at Leicester, who do you think else follows realistically? Who do you think could leave before this transfer window shuts? Because we're now starting to get players out the door. Marti Cifuentes is working. It looks to be working hard regarding. We're surprised that Wilf is now on his way out. So, who leaves for you, Chris, if you had to name 3 players?
So if I'm going to name 3 players from anywhere in the team.
Yeah, anywhere in the team you can.
Okay. Who I want is one thing. Without Faye, that's no surprise there. Anybody that knows me, without Faye's to go, Sumare to go.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I don't think he will, but the Kova Reed to go.
Fair enough. Steve?
I've said before that I think we're going to be a late window seller.
Okay.
You know, last week of the window, we're going to see a lot of movement because he wants to trim the squad. So realistically, I think Watford does go out, maybe on loan, but I think he does leave. I would like Samare to leave, to be honest. You know, just so I can stop getting the abuse on Twitter from people saying that he's the next level of Christ and he's coming back. And then for me, the biggest issue is like quite a lot of the players in the squad will do a job still, and if they're happy to be pit-bot players, then fine. So Fast Samare, and I think the last one, oh God, I think Justin goes. I think he leaves this week. I can't say. Oh, Christensen, get him gone. Sorry, Jack, I'm gonna list everyone. So
Christensen definitely.
What Fast is here?
That's what Wout Fass's defending looks like. He looks like that thing off a proper Crimbo, didn't he? When they used to have like Keith Lemon and that in it. And
this is the only reason I don't want him to go. I thought this week, and if he goes, I'm going to have to go out and buy some just for men to make it dark and become Hamza Chowdhury.
If you turned up on a Saturday, and you could probably do a better job than Wout Fass. You stood there with your hair on. You'd look just like him.
Melbourne selector. That's what Wout Fass would look like in the Premier League last year. You sure weren't Chris impersonating him at the back?
I tell you what, I bloody run slower than Samare.
Enrique's injured. It doesn't look like he's going anywhere anytime soon.
I kind of don't mind VK. I mean, the problem was last season, again, the few times that he did get up and get down to the byline, he had nobody to cross to.
That's the thing. I'm in the boat of Fass. I don't know. I just don't think his attitude's right.
That's not a nice boat to be in, is it? The boat of Fass. Can you imagine that cruise? I'd jump off. I'd aim towards the. It
wouldn't make it out of the Southampton harbour, would it? It'd just be sink away. You know what I mean?
It'd just make it over the sand, wouldn't it?
And whatever happened to the boat, it wouldn't be about FaZe's fault, would it? Me? You can't mean that. I look more like about FaZe now when I do that.
That's mad. Yeah, Fass is one out I would get out of the door. Samare, I think we can get money for him, but it's the wages that's going to keep him out, I'm afraid.
Yeah,
Vestergaard, no one's going to pay his wages, but he did do a job in the Championship. I would get rid of Christensen, actually, but he's not going to leave now due to the thing that happened at Seagrave. Justin, if Everton bid £6 million, they want a fullback, Leeds want a fullback, so if we can get good money for him, I'd let him go personally on a year.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't want him to,
if we sign Kone, I'd get rid of Daka. I think this is what we're waiting for. Bring in another striker, and then maybe we'll see what we can offer with Daka, because he's got a year left on his contract as well. And
I think the team on Sunday is going to be very interesting because you're going to see a big indication of who he wants to play, be here next season compared to who's actually wanted.
I still think Mads is going to be in goal for Leicester on Sunday.
He could well be, to be fair.
Yeah.
West Ham,
everyone else seems to be
now, so we're all right.
Yeah, they seem to be pricing him out on the move, which I don't know if that's clever or not, because he's not on a lot of money by the sound of it, And if he's not going to kick up a fuss and he can stay for another year, then great. But are you really sort of 20 million? If they want to spend 20 million, are you going to turn that down when it can, help refresh everything else?
Well, I think first of all, tripe and onions. I am very worried about your comment there. That really does scare me. I don't know if I dare sort of look out my window now. The thing with Mads, though, we can't let Mads is tied down. He's on a longer contract than the others.
Yeah.
But we can get a lot of money for him. So why why don't want to let him go on the cheap.
Yeah.
But if somebody comes in with sort of 20, 25, then yes.
Yeah.
But we're not going to let him go on a cheap. He's not on a lot of money anyway. And then you look at our goalkeepers. You know, we don't have to go out and buy another one. I mean, look, Asmir Bekovic, he's good. He's your Pokovic and Schwartz's kind of player.
Yeah,
I wouldn't necessarily fancy him. Look, you know, if we let Mads go, we know Jakob would probably be the main number one. Please. Hang on, I need to go shut my blinds. Jakob would probably be number one, but then is he all right for number two? I think he's good for number three, come coach, but I'd hold a Simari. To try to keep hold of Samari. Bloody hell, I'm thinking about him being on my porch. He's put the fear of God into me.
What, Samari? Oh,
no.
That was scary, wasn't it?
That was scary. Try for onions. I've just had to undo my Ring doorbell. You know what I mean? All I'll say is, try for onions, just wipe it up when you finish. That's all I'm saying.
Chris, you make me laugh.
It's a tough one, but I'll give it a go.
I didn't know. Did you know Tripe and Onions? He used to be a roofer, and he was sacked. He was sacked for having a wank on the roof one day of a customer, and he went to his boss, and his boss sacked him, and he said, "Oh, come on, be fair. Can't we just wipe the slate clean?"
Right, carry on what you were saying about
that. Wasn't worth it, really. That wasn't worth it, was it?
No. So yeah. West Ham want another goalkeeper. The Botafogo goalkeeper looks like he's going there with Areola is going to be number one still. Leicester, Mads Hermansen. Aston Villa don't need another goalkeeper. Man United with Onana probably. I'll be honest, but yeah, Chelsea they're not going to buy him. I don't think, but 25 million is what Leicester want, and this is what puts West Ham off. They don't want to spend all this money. So this is why I can sort of see him staying. To be fair, he's not going to kick up a fuss. If he was moving closer to West Ham or wherever, he wouldn't have played it. He wouldn't have played yesterday. They'd have done an Ndidi and just not played at all. So I don't know. Been saying this for the last 2 weeks. Exactly. It's all speculation, isn't it? Teams are like formal bids FC or formal speculation, and interested FC is what we've become. So, wasn't Inter Milan looking at Mads at one point a year or so back? I think so. Chelsea were looking at him last year, but that is it from us. Hit the like button, guys, if you enjoyed this stream. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Thanks for watching the Late Night Whistle. We appreciate it. It's been a good laugh. Chris has behaved himself.
Have I? Okay, if you call that being behaved, I'm coming back on, I'll tell you.
Chris has behaved himself to an extent.
That's it, yeah.
Steve, thanks for coming on, mate.
No worries, pal. I'll see you at Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah, hopefully we win about 5-0, but we'll see. Chris, what's coming up on Leicester tonight, mate?
We've got our Foxes Forum tomorrow, which is basically one question: are we Championship ready?
Yeah. And
then tomorrow night hopefully we're going to have the Talking Ball show, which would have been to now, but everybody's sort of got a bug today. So it's been put back till tomorrow. And if anybody's not watched Talking Balls, it's a show that sets itself very low standards and come up to them. Yeah, that's how to quote a Star Trek, it's football, Jim, but not as we know it.
Okay, wait back on.
Or you say the nicest things, Fox.
Yeah, no, lads, appreciate it. Cheers, Chris.
Thanks for having me on, mate. All the best. Take care.
That is it then. Thanks for everyone who's watched. Really appreciate it. Hope you've enjoyed the Late Night Whistle once again. If you have, hit that like button for me. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and you haven't subscribed already. Please get down and do so. It'll help me out massively. Push that notification bell as well. We will have the match preview of Sheffield Wednesday on Thursday night. So join us for that. I think it's going to be about 8 o'clock. So join us for the match preview of Sheffield Wednesday. And yeah, fingers crossed it'll go ahead. I think it might do now, to be fair. But we'll see. But no, we'll see what happens now regarding Richard Kone. Hopefully we'll hear more regarding Leicester City with news. So Ndidi out, Kone in potentially. Let's see what happens. But take care. and good night.